Good day, and welcome to the Impact Investing Show with your host Samuel I Can Win Ikim. And guys, I hope you are ready for today's lunchtime. Yes, I said it, lunchtime show. Today we're going to be having some interesting conversation. Why? Because we're on day 18. Guys, I don't know if you've been with us for the 17 days prior, but guys, I'm telling you, it has been jam-packed, it has been energy filled, it has been fun, festive. I don't even know what else to say. Guys, if you have been following us for any of the 17 previous days, let us know in the comments how you have found the 21 days of your property investing success. Well, guys, look, as you can see, I'm in gym clothes. I just finished my workout for today, and I'm looking forward to working you guys out psychologically as it pertains to your property investing journey, helping you guys to be equipped so you can move further, faster in your property investing. And we're going to do that by going through a myriad of things which we've got to do tonight, or to do today, excuse me. Today for our lunchtime show, day 18 of the 21 days of your property investing journey and success, we are going to be covering a recap of the previous 17 days for those of you who are brand new. And let me say this, if you are brand new, if this is the first time you're tuning into the Impact Show, if it's the first time you're joining us on this 21 days of your property investing success, write the word new in the chat, and the people in the chat will be able to welcome you and let you know that this is a community where we've been having this thing going on, and we've been helping people move forward with their property investing success. Now, listen, let me say this as well. Massive appreciation to every single person who's hit that subscribe button, every single person who's hit a like on any of our videos for the value that they've got. And side by side with that, for all of those people that have decided to share our content. I appreciate you guys. We appreciate you guys. And we're grateful. We're always grateful to see how the channel's growing because of the value that you guys are getting through means of the channel. Now, I'm going to jump into the chat in a little while and see who's saying hi, see what's being said. I know I've got Ose Kimwin in the chat already. Good day to you, sir. Hope you're enjoying your day so far. It's Monday. Guys, you know, on Monday, so many people are dealing with doom and gloom. Usually I have calls very early on Monday from 8 a.m. And when I'm speaking to these people, I usually say to them, this is the day to set yourself up for success. Let me say that one more time for those of you who maybe did not hear me. This is the day to set yourself up for your success. And guys, if you don't know that, this week is waiting for you to do the right thing today to set yourself up for success for the rest of the week. So, like it says below, don't forget to leave a comment and say hi. Like I said, if you're brand new to the show, brand new to the stream, write the word new in the chat and we'll be able to welcome you. Now, if you've been here before, if you're one of the people that have been here before, you've connected with the Impact Show that we do every Saturday at 6 p.m, or you're someone who's been on the 21 days of your property investing success journey already with us, I would love for you to write in the comments ready to go, just to let us know that you are actually ready to go. And today's show, the lunchtime show, usually I don't know what it is about the lunchtime shows. The lunchtime shows have a different energy. I got a different vibe. I think it's because it's all light in here. There's so much light in here for the lunchtime show, whereas when we do the evening shows at 8 p.m, for the 21 days of your property investing success, it's a darker mode. It's a deeper mode. So guys, look, I hope you're ready to go. I'm ready to go, and I'm looking forward to today's, let me say that correctly, to today's show. I think I keep saying tonight on the Monday because I'm actually expectant of the fact that we have our masterclass this evening. But guys, I'll talk to you more about that in a little while. So we're going to go through our recap. We're going to give you our recommended resource for today. Side by side with that, we're going to give you a book recommendation. Well, actually, today's book recommendation gets released tomorrow. So those of you who are with us today, who are looking forward to the book recommendation on the subject we're going to cover today and tomorrow, tune in tomorrow, lunchtime again. I think tomorrow's show might be at 1. It might be at 12:30, who knows. But tomorrow's lunchtime show, Tuesday's lunchtime show, also will reveal the book recommendation for today and tomorrow. Side by side with that, we're also going to go into today's content. We're going to give you today's content. But before I go into all of that, let me start with our show disclaimer. It states all information provided and results given are exemplary. Each person's results may vary or differ. Our results are based on consistent strategies, and we advise that you always, yes, always, not sometimes, not maybe, not when you feel like it, always seek legal and financial advice from a qualified professional. Now, with that being said, I hope you take heed, okay, because it's utilizing the process of due diligence that keeps you well informed and keeps you well ahead of those who are your contemporaries as it pertains to property investing. So guys, we want to see you succeed. So because we want to see you succeed, this is why we share with you that information. We want you taking your due diligence in order to move forward in your property investing journey. Now, let me start by giving you guys our recap of the 17 days that have gone prior, the 17 days that have preceded us. And I'm going to make the recap quick because, again, I want to make today's value, today's content very, very relevant and very pertinent. I want it to take up the majority of today's show. So let's jump straight in. We started on day one of your property investing success over these 21 days, speaking about knowing what you want. I basically shared a principle with you. I said, if you do not know what you want, all roads will lead there. If you do not know what you want, you will get anything. And that will just be what it is, because at the end of the day, it's having a target, having a direction, having a goal, which sets you up for your property investing success. So you have to know what you want. That's where it all starts. That was day one. Day two, I taught you guys a skill called metacognition. It's a long word with a simple definition. Metacognition, the definition of metacognition is simply thinking about your thinking. I said to you on day two, guys, the 2nd of January 2021, that what you need to be able to do is know exactly how to scrutinize your thinking, how to second guess your thinking, how to think laterally, how to think outside of the box in order for you to really succeed in your property investing journey. And then we shifted to day three. Now, day three was the bombshell. Day three was the bombshell. You can listen, you can tell when a video is the bombshell partly because of how many people view the video. If you look at the day three video in comparison to all the other videos on the 21 days of your property investing success, you will see there is an astronomical, I'll say it again, there is an astronomical amount of views on that video compared to a lot of the other videos. And the reason why is because not only are people getting value from that video, people are going on to share that video. So I want to say this to you. If you're a person who's just tuning in right now, you know, day 18 might be your first engagement with this 21 days of your property investing success. Guys, this is free. This is 21 days of free content helping you move further faster in your property investing journey. Now, on this channel, I'll come back to that in a minute. Now, if you are just joining us right now, okay, what I want to encourage you to do at the end of this live stream, at the end of this video, at the end of you being able to get your questions answered, you being able to speak and connect with me and the team on this current live platform, when you finish watching this, I want you to jump into the description of this video. And by jumping into the description of the video, there are going to be, you know, freebies, groups, there's going to be everything. There are so many links in the description to help you move forward in your property investing journey. We've got free resources, we've got paid resources, we've got groups that you can join for absolutely free, Facebook groups, we've got Instagram handles where you can connect with us on different social media platforms. But most importantly, in terms of what I'm talking about right now, we have the links to every single video which precedes this video. So before you get to day 18, I want you guys to chill with me. I want you to rock with me for this lunchtime. But when we finished engaging right here, when you finish getting the value live right here, what I want you to do is jump into the description and go find whether it's the day 3 video, the day 1 video, whichever video. If you're like me, you're meticulous. If you're meticulous like me, you love the journal, the notepad, the iPad, you know, you like taking the notes. If you're like me, you want to go all the way to day 1 and you want to go through all of the content. I remember the other day we had a comment from one of the viewers who was basically sharing that they needed to go all the way back to day 1. Let's see if we got the comment still available. I don't think it's available anymore. But they were basically saying they wanted to go all the way back to day 1. And I was like, back to day 1? And they were like, yeah, I need to go back to day 1. Let's see this. Samuel, do you even realize how you're going in? I'm hitting like and sharing. That was one of the comments that we received recently. That wasn't the comment I was looking for, but that was one of the ones we received recently. Let me see if I can find the comment. There's a few comments that people have sent in. And guys, we are grateful. Again, I shared my appreciation. We are so grateful. Thank you, Samuel. You're definitely helping me and the community with your show. I'd like to make a donation to it. Nothing big, but hopefully it helps. Send me the bank details when you can. That was not the comment either. But guys, again, you can see that we have been adding value to people on the show. Let me do this because I think this will help. Let me throw the comments on the screen. Good stuff. Now that the comments are on the screen, let's have a quick look and see if I can find the specific comment that came, because we've been getting so many comments from people who are viewing. Here it is. Okay, here it is. This is the one I wanted to share with you guys. Let me make it a little bit larger because I know a lot of people who watch our content say to me, Samuel, I'm watching on mobile, it needs to be big. Not that big. All right, so let's do this. The person messaged me. They said they got a small part yesterday as they saw it late. However, they will go back to day 1. Okay, and that was just like a powerful statement, seeing that being shared, because that's the reality for some people. For some people, they want to be like me. They want to be meticulous. They want to go all the way back to the beginning to make sure they don't miss any of the juicy content. And I want to be the kind of person to encourage you. If that's the kind of person you are, go get that content, because the content is for you. It's not for me. Okay. And I have shared with people that, look, one thing you've got to bear in mind, when that content gets taken off, when the content is pulled down for whatever reason, whether it's my team saying, look, let's pull it down, whether it's YouTube going out of fashion, which I can't see happening anytime soon. The reality is the content is there now. Utilize the content and don't let the content get away from you. All right. Now, day 3, I'm still in the recap. Day 3, we spoke about vision. Okay, we spoke about vision. I shared with you guys a verse from the Bible, a principle that I've been living by for about 15 years now. And that verse in the Bible is found in Proverbs chapter 29, verse 18. And it says, without a vision, the people perish. I'll share it with you one more time. It says, without a vision, the people perish. And for those of you who like taking notes with your pencils, with your pens, I'll share it with you one more time. It says, without a vision, the people perish. So on day 3, we spoke about having a property investing success vision. We spoke about the fact that if you do not have a property investing success vision, what you're actually doing is you're committing property investing success suicide. Hope you understand that. That's some good notes. If you're one of those people like me, you got your journal, you got your iPad, you got your notepad, you got your tablet, you're ready to go. Like I said, ready to go. That's some good notes to get you started tonight. If I do not have a property investing success vision, I am committing property investing success suicide. And the funniest thing is there are so many people committing that kind of suicide, property investing success suicide, because they don't have a vision for their property investing success. They don't have a vision. They don't know what property investing success looks like to them. And again, if we go back to the day 1 session that I shared with you guys, if you don't know what you want, how can you achieve it? If you don't know what you want, how can you articulate it? If you don't know what you want, how can you get other people on board to understand what you want, to work with you in terms of what you want, to support you in terms of what you want? It's just not possible. Okay, so knowing what you want is essential, but materializing that into the conformity, into the articulation of having a property investing success vision is crucial. Okay, now day 4, we shifted into a skill which I knew everybody who really wants to achieve property investing success needs. It's an essential, and that's the balance of faith and fear. Learning how to balance faith and fear in your life. I've been in coaching people for over 10 years in different capacities, and one of the things I come across all the time is fear of success, fear of failure. Okay, and fear manifests itself in so many different ways. One of the major ways I see fear manifest itself is in what we call self-sabotage, where people have a great opportunity in front of them. There's a great deal. This opportunity could potentially be generationally changing for you. This opportunity can change your life. But you know what? For some reason, the person walks away from the deal. You know what? For some reason, the person says, there's something wrong with this. It's have you heard this before? It's too good to be true. Now, listen, guys, I'm not saying that gimmickly to say that there aren't things that are too good to be true. Let me assure you, there are many things that are actually too good to be true. But when you have a great opportunity, you have a great deal, you have something staring at you saying to you, you know what, I'm going to work for you. You've done the numbers, you know it makes sense, and you still walk away. That's when fear has overcome your faith. Let me tell you something. I shared this on day 4. When we switch on the light bulb in a room, we have faith that that light switch is going to turn on. We might not know the engineering that takes place behind the switch. We may not know the circuitry that takes place behind the switch. We may not be in the engineering field, in the electrical field to the degree where we understand the mechanics, but our faith allows us to engage with that button and allow the lights to come off. Let me tell you something. Your property investing success is exactly the same. Again, that's some good notes to write down. Your property investing success is exactly the same. Your property investing success is going to be a byproduct of the faith that you use to switch on the button and start getting the lights, the proverbial lights in your property investing success, which is the results. You will get the results when you engage with the faith to switch the light on. And sometimes switching that light on might be doing some more marketing, which we'll come on to later, doing some more relationship building, which we'll come on to later, and a few other things. All right, but let's keep pushing. So day 4, we spoke about faith and fear. Day 4 was very insightful, very impactful. I remember the other day, I think it was day 15, I asked people, what's been your favorite day? For those of you who've been rocking with us for a while, what's been your favorite day on the 21 days of your property investing success? And a few people actually said day 4 was powerful for them. Now, day 5, again, I started to speak about my good friend, personal development. Okay, I really like talking about personal development because I decided in 2004 to start developing myself personally for the rest of my life. And I've seen massive massive shifts, massive changes as a direct result. And one of the things I shared with you guys on day 5 is that personal development is your fastest road to success. Personal development is actually the fastest vehicle to the success that you are trying to acquire in your property investing journey. And I'll say that to you again, write that down. That's some good notes right there. Personal development, me developing myself personally, is the fastest route for me to achieve the property investing success I'm trying to achieve, for me to achieve the fastest success in this property field ever obtainable for me. Guys, property investing success comes to you quicker, faster, speedier if you utilize personal development. Personal development is your key. Then we shifted into day 6. Day 6, we spoke about my very good friend, one of the twins. We spoke about momentum. I spoke about how when you've got all of the things in place in terms of your foundation, hey to you KTR, we see you in the chat. When you've got all of your things in place, when it comes down to the foundation, when you've got all of the right things in place, the only thing you need next is momentum. You need to turn the volume up. You need to get to a space where you understand, you know what, I'm doing all the right things. I understand how to do this. I've got everything in place. I've got the vision. I know what I'm trying to achieve. I know what I need to do. I know how to scrutinize my thinking. You see, the only thing you need then is to turn the volume up. And that's what we call momentum. Shifting out of that, from day 6, we went into day 7. And I said day 7 was going to solidify your foundation. And again, day 7 is another video with so many views, astronomical amount of views compared to the rest of our videos. And the reason why is because on day 7, people started to realize, well, if I get this right, I'm good. Day 7, we spoke about commitment. We spoke about how commitment is the seal of your whole foundation. All of the keys we spoke about prior from day 1 to day 6 were your foundation. Day 7 was commitment, how you seal that foundation, how you make that foundation solid. So you can look at it and say, I can build a skyscraper on this. So you can look at it and say, I can build my property investing success portfolio on this. I can build my future financially on this. Okay, that was day 7. Then I shared with you guys from day 8 all the way to day 21, we're going to be getting practical. And we have done just that. Day 8 and day 9, we spoke about mindset. Day 8, we spoke about protecting your mindset. Day 9, we spoke about preparing your mindset. Day 10 and day 11, we started to speak about marketing. I started to break down to you guys over those 2 days how marketing is essential. I started to break down to you guys that marketing is the key. Marketing is how you turn strangers into clients. Marketing is how you turn strangers into investors. Marketing is how you turn strangers into sellers that want to work with you. Marketing is the key. Then we shifted from marketing into measuring. Okay, and those were 2 great days. From marketing into managing. And those were 2 great days on day 12 and day 13, when we started to break things down in a real deep sense. On day 12 and day 13, I started to share with you guys that managing is the process of taking people who do not know you and building up a relationship where they now know you, they then like you, they now trust you, and they want to work with you. Okay, we spoke about how you can work with people on a long-term basis, letting them know, look, I'm still here, I'm still around, I'm ready when you're ready. Okay, but I also spoke about how you can shift things really quickly, and that came to yesterday's episode, which was day 17. But through day 12 and day 13, we were equipping you guys to understand that management of relationships is the second key for anybody who's doing effective marketing. Let me tell you something. I see so many people who say they want to do property investing. Even these people, in many cases, start doing marketing. They go on a property course, they teach them how to do some kind of level of marketing. And these people start doing marketing, even if it's just talking to friends and family. Hey, I'm invested in property. Are you interested in property? Or I can help you invest in property, or etc., etc. I see so many people go on courses and do that. And when they start marketing, the thing they don't understand is exactly what we teach in the Sourcing Blueprint. The Sourcing Blueprint is the free infographic I created some years ago to help people understand the simple breakdown of how you can find great property deals. It starts with marketing, but it then shifts into managing. Most people have a problem managing the relationships. Okay? Now, look, this is the funniest thing. If anybody comes to me and tells me, look, they're not getting property investing success, I know one of 4 things is broken. I'm going to keep it that simple. If you know what, let me be very, very expansive, because obviously in my coaching capacity, there's an extra element we bring to it. But I know one of 5 things are broken. Okay. The first thing is either the mindset, which is what we covered, okay, on day 8 and day 9. The second thing is their marketing. Your marketing might be broken, because if your marketing's broken, no deals are going to come your way. The third thing I realized might be your management of relationships. How are you actually keeping tabs of people? Do you have a system? Do you have a CRM system? CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management System. Okay, for those of you who are brand new. Do you have things in place to manage the relationships? Do you put appointments in your diary? Do you put calendar appointments? How are you tracking your relationship with each of the people that you're engaging with as potential sellers, as potential buyers, as potential investors, etc., etc.? Okay, you got to think about, if you're doing strategies like rent to rent, how are you tracking all of the landlords you've ever met since 2015? Okay, how are you tracking them? How are you keeping tabs on them? How are you making sure that a landlord doesn't call you tomorrow who actually called you 4 years ago, and you actually know, oh, this is the guy who called us 4 years ago, and this is all the information we ascertained 4 years ago, which we can now regurgitate in our conversation to build rapport really quickly? How are you doing that? I know 1 of 5 things are broken if somebody tells me they're not getting property investing success. If it's not the mindset, if it's not the marketing, if it's not the managing, then it might be the measuring. Okay, and we spoke about measuring on day 14 and day 15. Day 14 and 15, I spoke to you guys about the return on investment, how it's so important, how it's crucial, how it's essential to be able to understand what you're looking for when you look at property opportunities. When we get to the second day of that, day 15, what I did is I broke down examples for you guys. I broke down the example of a rent to rent. I broke down the example of a HMR. I broke down the example even of cryptocurrency and stocks as well. And I said, look, we can compare each and every one of these. We can look at each and every one of these. I've had quite a few people start actually commenting on the Impact Properties videos, which is interesting, about cryptocurrency. Oh, crypto is the next thing. Da, 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 da. And one of the things I shared in that video on day 15, which I stand by adamantly, and guys, it doesn't mean I wouldn't invest in cryptocurrency. I shared with you guys on day 15, I have cryptocurrency investments. It doesn't mean I won't invest in stocks. Guys, I shared with you on day 15, I have stock investments. But the reality is, I said to you guys, property is the only one of the examples I gave you guys where you can force appreciation. You can change your rent. You can increase your rent. Any month you choose, you can increase your rent. Now, obviously, don't do that with ignorance. Don't be trying to increase the rent every single month. That's just ignorant. That's not what we do. But the point I'm making is, you can, at the drop of a hat, if you're an old school landlord, the kind of guy who's still getting rent, or the kind of girl who's still getting rent from 2015 in 2021, you can do a rent increase. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Over a 6-year period, why have you not done a rent increase? You can force appreciation as it pertains to property. And this was one of the things I was sharing with you guys on day 15 when I spoke to you guys about how you can actually increase value. You can force value as it pertains to property, which you can't do with stocks and shares. You can't make a stock more valuable. You, and as an individual, cannot do that. Let me be nice. Most individuals cannot do that. Most individuals cannot increase the value of a stock. Most individuals can't do a press release and the next day the stock just starts skyrocketing. Most normal human beings can't do that. People like you, people like me, if you're watching this, you're probably the kind of person I'm talking to. You got 200-300K in the bank. I'm telling you, you can't make a stock move. Okay. Now, if you got 200-300 billion in the bank, 200-300 million in the bank, maybe you might know the right people. But the reality is, most people can't make a stock move. Most people can't make a cryptocurrency move. But nearly any person who owns a property or who has control of a property can make the rent move. I want you to think about that. One of the things I shared with you guys, I don't like sharing the secrets with you guys, just over this free content. But one of the secrets I shared with you guys over the last couple of days is that, for me personally, okay, I like to give you guys the unfair advantage. That's how I've won in property. I've won by taking the unfair advantage. Most people say it's unfair because most people aren't using it, but it doesn't mean it's unfair in terms of any other sense except for the fact that most people aren't using it. A rent increase is an unfair advantage. You can have a property on a street. Everyone else has the same property on the same street. Everyone else has been charging their tenants the same rent for the same amount of years. But no, not you. You say to yourself, you know what, this year I'm doing a rent increase. In 2 years' time, I'm doing a rent increase. In another 2 years' time, I'm doing a rent increase. Let me tell you something. There are people who have property side by side with someone else. Person on the right, house B, let's call it house B. House B is generating, let's say, £1,000 a month rent, which is the same rent it was generating in 2013. House A is generating £1,500 a month, which is a rent increase, which is the byproduct of a rent increase, which has been added on or played out maybe from 2013 every 2 years. Now, let me give you an example. And guys, I'm not even talking about making mega bucks. I'm talking about small increments which make a difference. Now, that £500, if you multiply that by 12, that's £6,000 per annum. I'm sure you can find a home for £6,000 per annum. Okay, and if you can't find a home for £6,000 per annum, stay on our channel. We will show you multiple ways where you can get a home for £6,000 per annum. Okay, because I tell you all the time, guys, this is the Impact Properties YouTube channel where you get creative property investing on demand. On this channel, creative property investing is what we are giving you. Okay, so think about it. If you were able to increase your rent right now, even by £5, I used the example of £5 the other day. £5 a month. If you're in a HMO, £5 a month per room. Imagine that. You got 6 rooms. You increase your rent by £5 a month. Each room, that's £30 a month more. You multiply that by 12. Okay. Now you've got £360 more every single year, providing occupancy is full. Okay, guys, you got to understand that when you measure opportunities properly, you put yourself in the best position to win. And this is why I'm telling you, if someone tells me, guys, you know, they're not getting success in their property investing, I know there's only 5 places I need to look. I don't need to look around the whole world. I just need to look at their mindset. What's your mindset saying? Okay, if your mindset's in the wrong place, next thing I'll shift into, what's your marketing doing? Oh, you ain't marketing. Okay, makes sense. Okay, forget the marketing. Move into the next thing. How are you managing the relationships? Okay, you're managing the relationships. You've got that all done. Okay, cool. It's all automated. Okay, brilliant. All right, let's go into the next thing. How are you measuring these deals? Because if you're not measuring deals properly, you're going to walk away from deals every single time, even if they stack up, going back to hashtag day 4, where we spoke about faith and fit. The last thing I need to check out is how you're maturing those deals. And this is what we spoke about on the last 2 days, day 16 and day 17. Day 16 and day 17, we had a deep dive into talking about maturing deals. How do you actually get deals over the line? On day 16, we spoke about your team. I shared with you guys a resource that I created in order to help people understand how to push forward with their team. We spoke about the Team 10 resource, and I said you need to have a successful property power team. And this ain't about employing staff, guys. I want you to understand this. The people who are our students or our clients, they understand exactly what I'm talking about. Team 10 is not a resource to teach you how to employ staff. Okay? Because most people working their day job, receiving their salary, are not in a position to start employing ample members of staff. Okay, so the Team 10 resource doesn't teach you how to employ staff. The Team 10 resource teaches you how to identify the 10 key players you need to put around yourself so you can succeed. So it's not about employing staff. And the funniest thing is, one of the things I teach our students as well is the fact that if you're effectively deploying those Team 10, they pay for themselves. They pay for themselves. So when they do work for you, they do work for you that reciprocates them. Okay? So you can actually walk away with a benefit. You can actually walk away with money. Okay. And for those of you who are interested in the things I'm breaking down right now, you can be a part of our masterclass tonight. Tonight at 8 p.m., we'll be running a masterclass where we'll actually break down exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. We'll talk about one of the secrets. There's 3 secrets I'm going to share on tonight's masterclass, but I'm going to speak about one of the secrets which you can actually utilize where you generate an income from some of your power team members. All right. Guys, if you're getting value, let me see the word value in the chat already. And we're still on the recap. So day 16 and day 17, we spoke about maturing. Day 16 specifically, I focused about your power team and how your power team help you to mature deals. Now on day 17, which was yesterday was fiery. Okay, yesterday was extremely fiery. We spoke about so many different things in terms of maturing deals, but the main thing was a principle I gave you guys, JDI. Okay, I gave you the JDI principle, and then I shared it with you in a technique, smash and grab. And then after I shared the technique of smash and grab, I started to give you guys book recommendations. You know, the funniest thing, I realized when I jumped off the stream yesterday, I didn't even share with you guys about the actual book recommendation for yesterday. So the book recommendation for yesterday, if you're interested in getting that, you can go to impactproperties.co.uk/book 17. Okay, I'll say it again, impactproperties.co.uk/book 17. And I know KTR, who's in the chat right now, was basically saying yesterday, send the link, send the link, send the links. So yesterday's stream, if you catch it early, you will see all the links in the stream. If not, all the links will be in the description of the video. Now that book, okay, is a powerful book, the book that we shared yesterday. Okay, it's a powerful book that will effectively, if you're sharp, will revolutionize how you do everything. Okay, it will revolutionize how you do everything, because the book I recommended yesterday is a book about your mentality. Most people think that, you know, books are always about giving you skills, giving you knowledge, giving you insight. Sometimes books are there to just assess how you think. And the book we recommended yesterday is one of those books. Okay, let me tell you a bit about the book I recommended yesterday. Book 17 is called Always Be Closing. Okay, it's a book written by Omid Kazaravan. I hope I'm saying his name properly and not butchering it. Okay, so Omid Kazaravan wrote the book Always Be Closing. And let me tell you something, that book is not a book which people think the title can tell you what the book's about. You need to read the book to understand what the book is about. Let me tell you one of the things the book's about to help you. The book speaks about service, about how you need to have a heart of serving people. Now, the reason I'm sharing that with you is because I want you to understand, when I say to you guys about maturing deals, taking deals from concept to cash, what you're really doing is you're servicing people. You're providing a service. If you're a rent-to-renter, you're providing a management service, for example. Okay, how can you provide a unique or a bespoke management service which allows your landlord to say, you know what, I would recommend you to 100 other people. I'd recommend you to 3 other people. I'd recommend you at my men's meeting that I go to. I'd recommend you at my whatever it is, at my synagogue, at my church, at the mosque. I'll recommend you because of the service you've given me. Okay, so Always Be Closing is a book which really is checking your mindset about how you think about selling and how you think about closing in a sale. Because the reality is, if you understand how to close in a sale, you will have no problem to make money and succeed in your property investing journey. So we spoke about the book Always Be Closing yesterday. I gave you a formula for success yesterday as well, which KTR closed me on. Thank you ever so much, KTR, for being a part of the stream yesterday. You helped every single person who's going to watch that video both live, or who watched that video with us yesterday live, and also those who are going to watch on a replay. Now, tonight we're going to shift out into some bonus content. Okay, for day 18, day 19, day 20, and day 21, you guys are going to get what I call bonus content. Okay, I'm going to speak to you guys about stuff that I have not put in modules before. I've not even, constructed this stuff in modules for people on our online program. I'm going to speak to you about stuff that I only really speak to our 12-month coaching program clients, people that spend a lot of time and effectively, I will say, a lot of money with us. Okay, but I'm going to give this content to you guys because I think you guys are worth it. I think you guys deserve it. I think the guys that have been with us for the last 17 days have truly shown that, you know what, we want the value. So we're going to speak to you guys about the value. Today on day 18, we're going to be speaking about working with investors. That's today and tomorrow. Day 18 and day 19, what we're going to be covering is working with investors. If you're looking forward to that, let me see the word forward in the chat. If you're looking forward to learning about how to work with investors, let me see the word forward in the chat. If you're looking forward to that, let me see the word forward in the chat. Now, the joys of doing a workout before you come to the stream. Now, guys, let me say this to you guys as well. All right, I've shared some appreciation already in the show. Let you guys know. For those of you who are new, who are tuning in for the absolute first time to this stream, if you're live with us for the first time, let me just say this to you. Anything we speak about on the video, which isn't directly video content, all of the links to what we speak about are in the description. Okay, just remember that. Okay, so if I mention a link, a lot of the time you don't have to rush to go get the link. The links are usually in the description. One of the things I advise people to do when they watch our videos is just press the little arrow under the video, because if you press the little arrow, the whole description falls out. And then if I mention something, you can check, is it there? Because if it's not there, then you can say, oh, Samuel, that link's not in the description, and I can get that for you. Okay. But like I said, when you finish on this live, if you are resonating with any of the 17 things I just shared with you guys that we have shared over the last 17 days, guys, we've been rocking since the 1st of January 2021. I should even tell you guys how we ended up getting here. Look, for those of you who are brand new, who are engaging with this content, let me explain to you how we got here. Last year, I was running one of the largest property networking events in the whole of the UK. We would have over 100 people attend our event every single month. And basically what happened is, in our last meeting in March, we heard about the pandemic, heard about the lockdown, things started getting locked down. And I had people calling me, texting me, messaging me, asking me, Samuel, what do I do about this? What are people who just had questions about their property investing journey? They didn't know what to do. And that's the reality. They just didn't know what to do. So people were reaching out to me as a strategist, Samuel, how do I do this? How do I do that? Etc., etc. And I said, you know what? I said to the team, I said, guys, I want to give value to these people. I want to give answers to these people, but I can't be stuck to my phone. I can't just be answering these people's texts and these messages. I can't do that. How can we create a scenario where we can actually give these people the answers? And the team basically said, look, let's make ourselves available on a fairly regular basis in order to help people move further, faster in their property investing journey. And that for me was like a light bulb moment. Okay, let's do it. The key at that time was to help people strategize through their storm. So we started actually calling the show Strategy in the Storm. This was last year in March 2020. And we now, I think yesterday was Saturday, we got to our 40th episode yesterday. Yesterday was our 40th episode. Week in, week out, helping people strategize through the storm, allowing people to phone in onto the show, ask their questions, share their burdens, share what they're going through in property. And I would say to them, look, if I was in your situation, this is what I would do. If I was in your situation, this is what I would do. This is how I've strategized through that. This is what I advise you to do. And this is what we did again and again and again, week in, week out, to help people move forward in their property investing journey. And we've been doing this for months. And then what happened is we got to the end of the year. It was November of 2020. And I said to the team, guys, look, I've got an issue right now. My issue is so many people, even though we've strategized with people through the storm, there are still so many people who don't know how to go into 2021. They're going to go into 2021 with the wrong mindset. They're going to go into 2021 as losers. Now, these people are not losers, but they're going into 2021 with the mentality as a loser because 2021 beat them up. 2021 beat up a whole lot of people financially as it pertains to property investing. I know that because of the amount of calls I had, because of the amount of help I was asked for. Okay? So I said to the team, look, let's do something. Let's help people at the start of the year from the first day to push forward. Thank you guys for your comments. I see your comments are forward in the chat. Let's do something. Let's push people forward. Let's help people to see exactly how they can move further faster in 2021. That was our thought process. And because that was the thought process, the question was, what do we do? So the team said, oh, why don't we do a 21-day challenge? And I was like, no, I don't want to do a challenge. And I shared this on a couple of days ago. In one of the 21 days of your property investing success, the reason I didn't want to do a challenge. But again, you go back and watch those videos, you'll see why. But I said I don't want to do a challenge. But instead of doing a challenge, I just want to give people value. I just want to give people the answers. I just want people to know this is how you move forward, utilizing property as a resource. That's what my thoughts were. I just want to move forward. So the team were like, okay, cool. How do we do that? Okay, cool. Let's do that. So we ended up incubating this idea of the 21 days of your property investing success. And today we're here on day 18. All right. So first and foremost, for me, massive appreciation to the team for making this happen. And again, to you guys, massive appreciation for rocking with us. Okay. People like KTR who've been with us from day 3, every single session. Well done. Congratulations. Hat off to you. Okay. Because it takes commitment to actually invest in yourself. And what most people think investing in themselves is investing money. And investing money is not the only way you can invest in yourself. I used to teach this all the time years ago. Guys, I'm even going into some different level of value right now. But let me just flow with it. I used to teach this years ago. Okay, there are 3 ways that you can actually invest. There are 3 core ways you can invest. Most people only understand one, which is investing their money. Okay, but let me share something with you. You can invest your money, you can invest your time, or you can invest your knowledge or insight. You can call it knowledge or insight, either. It's up to you. Okay, you know, some of the greatest collaborations that have ever been created in history are byproducts of one of those 3. And the thing is, for most people, they think the only thing you can invest is your money. Let me tell you something. If you have a superior insight into the property investing field, people will bring their money to invest with you. So you're not bringing your money, you're bringing your insight. Okay. And again, this is on the topic today. I said to you guys, we're talking about working with investors. These kind of things I'm sharing right now are basically some of the foundations that I learned years ago, about 12, 13 years ago, that have helped me in terms of work with other people as investors and use other people's money. Okay. So I want you to understand that. And again, when I say use other people's money, it doesn't mean you don't put any money in the deal, but it could mean that. Okay. It doesn't have to mean that, but it could mean that. So let's keep going. Okay, let me even throw this out there. If you go and do some research on strategies like vendor financing, you understand how you can use other people's money without actually using their money. Okay, so vendor financing, that's a little added benefit for you guys who are joining us on the lunchtime show for day 18. So write that down. Vendor financing. What is vendor financing? Now, if you're someone like KTR or Ose Kimwin, one of those people in the stream who have been on the Get on the Ladder workshop that we run, then you will know what I'm talking about when I mention vendor financing, because that's one of the 15 strategies I break down on the Get on the Ladder workshop that we run periodically. Now, the point I'm making is this: strategies like vendor financing allow you to use other people's money without actually literally using other people's money. Okay. But let me go back to my point. The point I was making, which is some great notes for you to start with, if you're thinking about the concept I'm sharing with you guys on day 18, how to work with investors, working with investors. Okay. The first key for you to understand is that there are different things you can invest. Money is not the only thing you can invest. So when people think about personal development, a lot of the time they think, oh, I can't get on that course. That course costs too much. Therefore, I can't get on the course. It doesn't work like that. What else could you do besides getting on the course? What else could you do? Okay. Could you actually become an apprentice to the guy who runs the course, where you give your time for free in order to learn? Now, this is the funniest thing. Why would you become an apprentice giving your time for free in order to learn? It's not so you build your money necessarily, your financial resource, but so you build your resource of insight, which in turn will have an effect on your finances. Okay. There's a verse in the Bible. It's in 3 John verse 2. It says, "Beloved, I wish above all things that you prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers." Okay. I'm going to say that again. 3 John verse 2. It says, "Beloved, I wish above all things that you prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers." What does that mean? Let me say it one more time for those of you who want to take notes. It's in 3 John verse 2. It says, "Beloved," okay, the people I love, beloved, the person I've got love for, I desire above all things, at the highest level, my desire for you is that you prosper, is that you are empowered to get the things you need, that you prosper, that you have what you need and beyond. Even as, and be in health, so have great health so you can enjoy that prosperity, even as your soul prospers. Now, guys, this ain't some prosperity preaching, okay? I know some people who'll be like, is Samuel prosperity preaching? No, I'm not. I'm reading to you a scripture verbatim, okay? "Beloved, I wish above all things that you prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers." What many people don't understand, when you read that verse or that principle in 3 John verse 2, it's telling you something. It's telling you that your prosperity has a direct connection with your soul. Now, for those of you who do not understand when I say the word soul, what I'm talking about, because they've been listening to the soul brother, James Brown, so they think the soul is just, I don't even know what James Brown defines the soul as. But listen, your soul, I'll give you a simple definition. Your soul is your thinker, your feeler, and your chooser. The part of you that thinks, the part of you that feels emotionally, and the part of you that chooses, rationalizes, and makes decisions. That's your soul. That's the internal part of you that thinks for you, that feels for you, and that also makes choices with you. That's the part of your body. That's your soul. So the point I want you to understand is your soul, how you think. Let me break it down in some layman's terms so it's even easier for all of us to get this. How you think has a direct correlation on how you prosper. Okay, how you feel has a direct correlation on how you prosper. Guys, why do you think I'm doing a workout this morning? Why do you think before I'm jumping on the stream at 12:30, I'm with my wife and my children and we're working out? Why are we working out? We're working out because I know the endorphins, okay, I'm getting a bit scientific on you guys, but I know the endorphins that are released into the human body when you do some kind of stimulation such as workout or when you eat fruit. Okay, etc., etc. I could go down a whole list of things that have an effect on your body that release certain kind of endorphins. So you've got that energy, you've got that motivation, you're ready to go. And this is why that's kind of one of the mantras for my channel. It's kind of one of the mantras for our masterclasses. It's kind of one of the mantras for whenever I actually do anything. If I'm at an event, I'll ask people, "Are you guys ready to go?" If I'm on a masterclass, guys, type "ready to go" in the chat. Let me know that you're ready to go. Sometimes I get my son, my oldest son, who just walks up to me and says, "Yeah, Dad, I'm ready to go. Yeah, Dad, I'm ready to go." Because he understands what ready to go means for us as a family, for us as people, for me as a business owner. Ready to go means I'm ready to go. I've prepared myself. Like I said in one of those days back, day 8, day 9, I've prepared my mindset, day 9, to be ready to go. Now, when you work with investors, you have to be in the same position. So that verse I shared with you, 3 John verse 2, "Beloved, I wish above all things that you prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers." All that's basically saying is how you prosper and how you are healthy is connected to how you think, how you feel, and the decisions you make, the choices you make. Okay? So if that's the truth, what do we need to improve? Do we need to improve our bank balance, our prosperity, our health, A lot of the time, you don't need to improve your health and your wealth. You need to improve your soul. You need to improve how you think. You need to improve how you feel. You need to improve how you choose. And this is why we started on day 1 to day 7 with the foundations that we started with. Because the foundations we started with from day 1 to day 7 were setting you up for your soul, the way you think, the way you feel, the way you choose, to be in the right place before we got practical on day 8 and started telling you guys you got to start marketing. Before you got practical on day 8 and started telling you guys you need the right mindset. Before we got practical on day 8 and started telling you guys you need to start measuring deals properly. Before we got practical on day 8 and started telling you guys you need to know how to manage relationships effectively. Before we started on day 8 and started telling you guys you need to know how to mature property deals. If someone's getting value, write the word value in the chat. Listen, if you are a person who understands what I'm breaking down right now, you will understand that personal development, I said it on day 5, personal development is your fastest vehicle to the success that you are waiting to get in your property investing. You see, working with investors isn't a hard thing when you understand how you need to develop yourself. You need to develop your thinking, your feeling, and your choosing. And listen, let me say this to you guys. You might not understand this, but I'm going to say this. I applaud you. I congratulate you for spending your lunchtime with me today. Because what you're doing by spending your lunchtime with me today is you are working on your soul. You're working on the way you think. You're working on the way you feel. You're working on the decisions you make. And that is a great investment to your ability to develop insight. Okay? So let me go back to the point. There are 3 things you can use to invest. Most people only understand money as something to be used to invest, because in school, that's basically what they teach you. Okay, so it's not your fault. That's what you've been educated by. You've been told that your money is the only thing you have to invest. That is wrong. That is erroneous. That is false information. That's actually miseducation. Okay, some of the wealthiest people in the world did not start by investing their money. Some of the wealthiest people in the world started by investing their time. Okay, if you go and read the autobiographies of some of the wealthiest people in the world, they will not say, I started with cash, I started with 50, I started with 100, I started with 100. They won't tell you they started with cash. They won't tell you they started with money. They'll tell you what they started with. They started with an obsession, for example. Just as an example, they started with an obsession. Okay, let me tell you something. If you've got a healthy obsession with something and you build enough insight in that thing, you can get credit even if you don't have cash. I hope that makes sense. Okay. And this is not me advocating go and take a loan. This is not me advocating go and get, go and take credit cards. No. I want you to hear the concept of what I'm sharing with you guys. I want you to hear the heart and the vein of what I'm actually saying to you guys. If you develop enough insight, just like I said a moment ago, people will bring their money. People will invest in your opportunity. That's how you get credit. People will bank on you if you develop your insight. Even if you don't have your own cash, even if you don't have your own money, people will invest in you. And this is what I want you guys to do. I want you guys to understand that as we speak about this today, day 18, and tomorrow, day 19, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about how you can work with investors. And the foundation of how you work with investors is by understanding that it's not just money you need to bring to the table. There are some things that are, in many cases, even more valuable than money. Guys, you guys have got me in the Bible today. Come on. Am I okay to give you some Bible value, guys? Let me know if I'm okay to give you some Bible value. Let me know in the chat. Just write it's okay. Okay? Or Bible value, BV. Let's write some BV. Okay? The other day I asked for permission to tell some Bible stories. We got a whole lot of BS, Bible stories in the chat. Let me know if I can get some BV today, guys. All right? I read something this morning. I want to share it with you guys because I think it is so powerful. And it's something I actually paraphrased the other day. So again, it's important. This is found in Proverbs chapter 16, verse 16. Okay. So Proverbs 16:16. It says, how much better to get wisdom than gold, and to get understanding rather to be chosen than silver. I read it again. How much better to get wisdom than gold, and to get understanding rather to be chosen than silver. I hope you understand what that says. You see, what that is breaking down to you in Proverbs chapter 16 of the Bible, according to your property investing success specifically, is basically saying to you that there are certain things that are better than money. There are certain things that are better than wealth. There are certain things that are more valuable than the money you have. Let me tell you something. There are people with money in their bank account right now who are stressed. There are people with money in their bank account right now who are strained. There are people with money, with wealth, with an abundance of finances in their bank right now who, what they're going through psychologically, you would trade the money they have to get rid of that. There, I can guarantee, let me even give you an example. You see, when someone jumps on a coaching program, okay, I'm just giving you an example. I'm just being honest with you, okay? Because can I be transparent? Okay, I hope I can be transparent. That's what these 21 days of property investing success is about. It's about me transparently sharing with you guys what I've used to get to where I am and beyond. So I'm just going to open up and be a bit real with you guys. You see, when someone jumps on a coaching course, you know what they're saying? They're saying the money I'm paying for this course is not as valuable as the information, the insight, the community, the value. Let me just use that word as a general word. I don't like using the word value generally, but the value I'm going to obtain from this course, this training, this coaching, etc., etc. So what does that mean? What that actually means is, if you're paying £6,000 for a coaching program, you're saying I'm going to get worth more. I'm going to get more than £6,000 worth of value from this program. That's the commitment you're making when you say, yeah, you know what, I'm jumping on this program. Same with our online students. Those of our online students who jump onto our online program, when they pay £2,000, when they pay £1,995, when they say, you know what, I'm committing to jump onto this online program. I want these modules that Samuel's teaching. I want the access to the walkie-talkie so Samuel can answer my questions. I want to be connected. Let me tell you something. When people make that commitment, all they're doing is they're saying, I'm going to get more than £2,000, more than £1,995 worth of value from this. So this goes back to the example I was giving you a moment ago. There are people with, if you take that £2,000 times it by 100, okay, so it's not £2,000 anymore, it's £200,000. You've got the same equation operating there too. There are people with £200,000 in a bank who say to themselves, you know what, I'm looking for something where it's of more value than the money I've got in my account. So the same way you might say to yourself, you know what, Samuel's telling me I need to develop my soul. Samuel's telling me I need to develop my thinking, my feeling, and my decisions. Samuel's telling me I need to develop that side. And if I develop that side, you know, people will bring credit to invest with me. People will bring their cash to invest with me. Samuel's telling me how to do this thing. I just got to develop my soul. Let me tell you guys something, okay? As you determine to develop your soul, what you want to provide for people is value beyond the money they have stagnant in their account. Okay, so I'll give you an example. If you've had £3,000 sitting in your account and that's all the money you've got, but that's been sitting in your account for 6 years and it's done nothing for you, it's created a few pence. Thank you, Lloyds. Thank you, Barclays, whichever bank you want to shout out. Thank you, Northern Rock, if they still exist. You know, it's created a few pence for you each year. And then you hear about a way you can start to understand creative property investing. You can start to find property opportunities. You can sell those property opportunities if you don't want to keep them for yourself. You can keep them if you want to keep them for yourself. You can utilize that to build cash flow. You can utilize that to build equity. You can utilize that to build profit. You start understanding what I teach in this resource I created, 30 ways in 30 days. Multiple ways to generate revenue using property. You start understanding multiple ways to generate revenue using property. You start understanding what I was sharing with you guys earlier about how you have to build a successful property power team. And these are just the extras. These ain't even the core content. But you start understanding what I've been sharing with you guys over these 21 days in a deeper level. Do you know what you're actually going to be doing? You're going to be creating a wealth of insight for yourself. You're going to create a wealth of insight for yourself where beyond the £200,000 someone has in their account, they say to themselves, you know what, that £200,000 has been there. It's created a few pence, a few pounds, but it's never really done anything for me. But this person, Samuel's now showed up, and Samuel's actually telling me he's got a property opportunity for me, where by me utilizing this £200,000, which isn't making me feel any better, it's not changing my life, I can actually start doing something that could potentially change my life. I could start doing something that could have a massive effect on my life. I could actually invest in the project that he's doing, or I can actually buy the deal off of him that he's actually selling. You see, guys, all you need to do in order to work with investors is understand that money is not the only thing that needs to be invested. I'm not saying that's the whole shebang, the whole framework. No, but that's one of the real foundational principles which most people get wrong, because like I said, we're taught in schools that money is the only thing you can invest. You can invest time. How do I know that? That's what everyone does who goes to school. You see, the children that don't show up to class, how well do they do in their exams? Usually. Okay, and I say usually because there's some people who are just genius, okay? But typically, the children who don't show up to class, how well do they do in their exams? Not very well. Why? They didn't invest the time. The children who show up to class but don't ever do any homework, how well do they do typically? Not as well as those who do the homework. Why? Because they haven't invested the time. I hope you're understanding what I'm talking about. This is the same as the people who join us on the 21 days of your property investing success, and they don't go and scour the description. They don't go and get the links out of the description. They don't go and watch the videos that I gave in day 1, day 2, day 3 as your additional homework. The people who don't show up with the notebook, the journal, the iPad, the notepad, the people who say I'm getting value but don't come with a pen, don't come with the colors, don't have the highlighter, don't have the pencil. You see, it's exactly the same thing. They're the people who might get some value, but they might not get the value to the equilibrium, to the extent that is necessary and needed in order for them to make a change. And guys, I said it to you guys a couple of days ago on this 21-day journey. I said, this is all about helping you to change. You will not be who you see inside of you until you change. And this is why we're here. We're here to help you change. So guys, I'm going to say that to you again. People will bring credit. People will bring their cash to invest in you. People will bring credit and people will bring their cash to invest in your property opportunities if you develop an understanding that cash and money is not the only thing needed to invest. You need insight. Okay, let me put it this way. With enough insight, you can find a property deal. This is some good notes to write down, guys. With enough insight, you can find a property deal that someone who has cash can't find. I hope you understand what I'm saying there. Okay, I'll say it one more time for those of you who are taking notes. With enough insight, you should write this in is it first person? I believe it's first person. You can tell I didn't teach English. With enough insight, I can find property deals which people with enough money to buy them cannot find for themselves. Okay, hashtag Paul Roberts. Thank you for that. Paul says, well said, Samuel. Guys, listen, I'll say that one more time. I'll give it to you in the third time, okay? Give you the third. Good things sometimes come in threes. Sometimes. All right? With enough insight, you will be able to find property deals that people who have the money to pay for those property deals cannot find for themselves. Guys, if you don't understand how much value what I just shared with you is, I don't know what you're doing with us on these 21-day journey. Okay? You see, if you build your knowledge base, you build your understanding, you build your level of competence in the skill set of finding great property deals, you know what you're doing? You're giving yourself, I told you the secret, I'm telling you again, you're giving yourself the unfair advantage. You're equipping yourself to a degree where other people can't find the kind of deals you find. Let me put it this way. I'll give an example, you guys to start to see exactly what I'm talking about. I had a mortgage broker call me. We're in 2021. This was 2019. I think end of 2019, because we wrapped up beginning of 2020. I had a mortgage broker call me end of 2019, okay, and tell me this. This is how funny it was. He said to me, he's got a client, okay? The client is defaulting on his mortgage. And because the client's defaulting on his mortgage, he's going to be repossessed. But the client's a nice guy, and he doesn't think the guy should get repossessed. So he knows the client's happy to sell for a discount, but he needs speed. Can you help him? This is how the mortgage broker reached out to me, Okay, I want you to understand what I'm breaking down to you. All right, so now let me start throwing in some variables. Firstly, the guy's a mortgage broker, so if he's a mortgage broker, he is gonna generally be able to know what a good deal is and what a bad deal is. Just think of it like that. Okay, that's the first premise I want you to understand. Second premise I want you to understand is he, as a broker, is telling me the guy is willing to sell with a discount. Okay, so a broker, someone who knows the marketplace, is saying to me that his client is willing to sell with a discount. Okay. Third thing is he knows that the guy's behind on his payments. So he knows the guy needs speed in order to complete. Hope you guys see where I'm coming from. Now, the reason why this is also powerful is because he came to me. Let me say that again. He came to me. Okay. Now, I then share with my community. I share with my group of investors. I share with my contacts. Hey guys, we got a great property opportunity where we can buy a property that should be 300,000 for 220,000, and we can additionally have some creative terms. Now, I don't necessarily have to speak about the creative terms because that's my angle. Okay. But we've got a great opportunity to buy a house for 300,000 at the price of 220,000. Who wants in? That's potentially 80,000 pounds of equity on day one. Who wants in? I can see you sitting down right now watching this video saying, I want in, because that's what most people are going to do. Why? Because when you work with investors, I've said this already, I'll say it again. It's not just about the money you bring to the table. It's not just about the money you bring to the table. It's about the insight you bring to the table. It's about the fact that have you positioned yourself to develop your insight to a degree that your activity is different to the activity of the people who have 200,000, 300,000, 700,000, 1.4 million in the bank. Okay? There's someone right now who's got 8.2 million pounds in the bank, but they have not developed themselves to find the opportunities that they would love to put that 8.2 million pounds into. Guys, I'll give you an example. Networking event. My networking event, over 100 people attending every single month. Okay. One particular month, gentleman approaches me at the end of the meeting, gives me his business card. He says, listen, Samuel, I've got 3 million pounds to stick into the kind of deals you've spoken about. If you're interested, let me know. And I said to him, yeah, of course I'm interested. Let's book a call. Let's chat. Okay, guys, I'm going to share again. At the end of one of my networking events with over 100 people attending my meeting every single month, a guy approaches me at the end of the meeting and says to me, Samuel, I've got 3 million pounds sat in the bank to invest in the kind of deals you have spoken about throughout tonight's meeting. If you're interested, let me know. And I said to him, yeah, I'm interested. Let's book a call. Let's talk about this. The guy went on to tell me he's got a business that generates 20 million pounds in revenue per annum. The 3 million pounds he said to me has just been sitting there. Guys, I'm going to say this again because you might not understand what I'm talking about. There are people who have 8.2 million pounds, 8 billion pounds. Guys, there are people who have the money to invest in your property opportunities. But the question is, are you finding great deals? You see, working with investors becomes easier when you find great opportunities. I'll say that one more time. Working with investors becomes easier when you find great opportunities. Because when you find great opportunities, you give investors what we call a no-brainer offer to want to work with you. If you've genuinely got a great deal, if you've genuinely got a deal that is a great deal, why would someone say no to work with you? Let me even make this even easier for you. Okay, I'm going to share with you something one of my coaches shared with me. All right. Hope you guys are ready for this. One of my coaches, this is what he does. He finds out all of the people that have recently bought a property in the area where he's just secured a new deal. So let's say I've just found a great property deal. Remember, I'm premising all this with a great property deal, and we're talking about working with investors. Let's say I've just found a great property deal in an area in Croydon, okay, in a specific postcode in Croydon. What one of my coaches will do is he'll go out, okay, he's not based in the UK, but this is proverbially what he does. He'll go out and find the contact details of every person who has just recently bought a property in that postcode. Okay, So that might be 15, 20, 24 properties, in terms of its space. But he wants to find out all the people. If he can't find out anybody in that direct postcode, he'll then shift to the next 2-3 closest postcodes. But he'll create a database of all the people that have just recently bought a similar property to that in a similar area to that. And he will contact every single one of them and say, hey, Roger, this is Samuel. I just got your details because I've been made aware that you recently purchased a property in the local area. I wanted to let you know that I actually have a property available in that area as well. And if you're interested in buying another property in that area, we've got a great opportunity for you. Now, look, why is this powerful? Because the people most likely to buy a deal in that area are the people who have already bought deals or property opportunities in the area. Now, let's go even deeper. Now, if you've just bought a house in that area, let's marry these two examples so we're not getting confusing for people. Let's go back to my example earlier where the broker calls me. If you have just bought a house in an area and you paid, let's say you think you got a deal, you pay 290, okay? You pay 290 for a house that should have been 300. And then you get a call from Samuel, who you've never heard of before, who says to you, yeah, I've just secured a property, or I've got a property for sale in the same area where you just bought a property for 290. Now, I'm willing to sell you this property for 270, okay? Guys, you tell me if an investor is going to say no to that. Because if he thought he got a deal at 290 and you are now creating an opportunity where he can buy a similar thing or the same thing for 270, why would he say no? Why would he say no? Why would he say no? He actually has bought already. He knows the value. He knows whether it makes sense. And this is what many people don't understand that they can do. They don't understand that they can present to an investor an opportunity which is better, juicier, nicer than the opportunity they've last engaged with to help them understand that this is a no-brainer offer. Now, if we go back to the example I was talking about earlier, you've got to bear in mind, I've just secured this deal through this broker for 220K. So if I've secured the deal through the broker at 220, but I've just been able to secure a buyer at 270, I've just been able to create £50,000 of income for myself. And this is possible. Working with investors in this way is possible. And I'm talking about, for today, working with investors as buyers of your property opportunities. Tomorrow, we'll talk about working with investors as investors into your property opportunities, which is both things I've done. But today, for the lunchtime, we're going to talk about working with investors for buying your opportunities. And the framework I've just given you, the setup I've just given you guys, you should see from that framework how that can work for you. You should be able to see from that framework how that could definitely straight away work for you. Finding people that have already bought in the area that you now have secured opportunities and just offering them a better deal. You see, let me give you an example, okay? And I'm speaking as an investor when I say this. I'm not speaking as, your creative property investing coach. I'm going to speak as an investor myself right now, okay? When people bring me opportunities and deals in areas I've already got deals, do you know who the first thing I do? I evaluate it based on my previous deal because I've done that deal already. It's tangible. I'll give you a clear example. Someone says to me, hey, Samuel, I've got a property opportunity for you in East London on this road. Now, if you're talking East London, I've probably done a deal somewhere near that area. So in my head, I'm measuring this deal straight away with a deal I've done already. You're telling me, oh, it's a 2-bedroom flat, it's a short lease, blah, blah, blah. In my head, I'm thinking, okay, what was the last 2-bedroom flat short lease I did in a similar area? Okay, and then I'm going to say to myself, well, I picked it up for this much roughly. We roughly paid this much on this year's left of the lease. We roughly paid this much on the lease renewal, and we roughly sold it for this much. So if you're offering it to me at a higher price, now I'm not going to say this to you. And again, guys, this is why I'm talking to you as an investor, so you understand how this works. I'm not going to say to you, your opportunity is overpriced. I'm not going to tell you that. I'm going to think about it. I'm going to evaluate it, scrutinize it, compare it to what I've done before. And I'll probably say to you, oh, yeah, it's not for me. I'm not interested. Again, those of you who were with us yesterday on day 17, you understand the smash and grab principle. So you'll understand why I would say I'm not interested. But I'll just basically say to the person, no, that's not for me. I'm not interested. Okay. Now, from the investor perspective, why am I saying I'm not interested? Because it's not a better deal than the deal I've done before. It's not a better deal than the deal I found myself. It's not a better deal than a deal maybe one of the sources or the agents I've worked with before have provided for me. So if I just hold tight and wait for that agent, that sourcer, or myself to find another one of my kind of great deals, I'd be better off than taking your deal, unless there's a superior angle. And this is why many people who say they are property sourcers or people that are finding property deals, this is why many of them don't make much money. This is why many of them don't really know what they're doing, because they're not finding investors and offering those investors superior opportunities. And again, when I say superior, this is the great thing about this world. Superior doesn't have to be 30, 50, 100% superior. It can be 2%, 3% superior. Just the fact by the byproduct that it is actually superior for many people is enough for them to say, I want in. So you've got to start asking yourself that question. Are you creating those opportunities? Are you creating those opportunities? Working with property investors is simple when you can find superior opportunities. That's a tweetable moment, as our friend Nicola from FPCom said yesterday. That is a tweetable moment. Feel free to throw that on Twitter. Hashtag Samuel I Can Win. Feel free to throw that on Facebook. Hashtag Samuel I Can Win. Feel free to make that an Instagram post. Hashtag Samuel I Can Win. Working with property investors is easier when you can find superior opportunities. All right, guys, at this point, we're going to open it up for the questions. I know it's lunchtime, and I know for some of you, your lunch is ending. So let me know. We got the chat up. Let me know, guys, if you've got questions. What questions do you have about working with investors? What questions do you have about working with investors for them to effectively buy your property deals? Okay. What questions do you have about working with other investors? I'll let you guys put up your questions, and then straight after you put up your questions, we will jump into them before wrapping up for this afternoon show. And whilst you guys are getting your question fingers ready, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, press the like button if you haven't already, and be sure to hit the bell notification so you can stay up to date with every single time we drop a video. Now, whilst you're getting your questions ready, let me tell you guys about our recommended resource for today's show. We want to encourage you to go and get this resource. It's absolutely free. This is your 7 best books for your property investing success. The 7 best books for your property investing success. If you go and get this resource absolutely free, you'll be told the 7 best books, whether you are a beginner or an advanced investor. Now, look, if you're an advanced property investor, you've probably got 3 or 4 of those books already. If you're an absolute beginner, you may have none of those books. But the point is, that is some good recommended reading for people who really want to take their property investing serious. And all you need to do is go to this link right here, which is impactproperties.co.uk/book list. I said impactproperties.co.uk/book list. And one more time, for those of you who love taking notes, that's impactproperties.co.uk/book list. And by going to that link, you will be able to get free access to the book list, which basically articulates what all 7 of those best books are for your property investing success, as well as how those books can potentially help you. Now, another thing just to add is up to 60%, I think roughly 60% of the books on that list have audio versions. And we have explained in the book list how you can actually get one of those books on Audible absolutely free by taking a free trial of Audible, where for the first 30 days you pay absolutely nothing. If you decide to cancel, you still keep the book. All right, guys, so that's value for you if ever you've seen it. And side by side with that, guys, the same with our description. Whenever you jump into our description, if we've got a book there, we usually highlight the audio version of the book as well, because if you do not have an Audible account, you can start a free trial, 30 days, get the book for free. If you cancel within the 30 days, you keep the book, even though you don't keep the subscription, and you pay nothing. So hopefully that helps you guys. Your 7 best books for property investing success, impactproperties.co.uk/book list. Now, with all that being said, we're open up for questions. Again, hit that like button. Side by side with that, press subscribe and hit the bell notification to be kept up to date with what's happening. Any questions in the chat? If we don't have any questions in the chat, we will be wrapping up. You guys, again, some of you will be seeing me tonight at 8 p.m. If we don't have any questions, we'll be wrapping up. Okay, well, I haven't seen any questions come in. So if all of that being said, guys, if you're not registered already, go and register for tonight's masterclass. You can go to the link impactproperties.co.uk/masterclass and be registered for tonight's masterclass tonight at 8 p.m. We're going to be breaking down 3 secrets on how you can take advantage in this current climate of property and win. guys, it's been a great pleasure on tonight's show, well, on this afternoon show, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys again tomorrow afternoon, where we continue talking about how to work with investors, but from a different perspective, not about buying deals, but about actually investing in your deals. I'm Samuel I Can Win. I'll see you on the next one. Happy investing.